What's up, everybody? It is Thegoal60 here for Week 7 of the 2018 college football season. Now, this week, I know I'm late. I'm actually a day behind. Some things came up with Michael. He wasn't able to join me. And in fact, we thought we'd get to film tonight, and we can't. So I'm just going to go ahead and run through my picks. I'm going to put his picks in the description on YouTube. So look for that if you want to check out what he liked this week. And then we'll move from there. With that said, I'm going to jump right in. Now, last night when I put out on Twitter that I was going to have to postpone this video till Thursday night, I went ahead and gave out the Thursday night pick. And I'm going to go ahead and run through that and why I picked it. The game's currently in the third quarter, about midway through. And that is, I had Texas Tech +7. Now, if you had seen that on Twitter and waited a little while, you actually would have got a better line before the game started. It made it all the way up in some places. I've seen it as high as 9.5, so you'd almost add it 2 scores. But either way, game's going on right now. And the reasons I picked that game are as follows. So Texas Tech is 11-5 their last 16 against the spread after a straight-up loss. They're 6-1 their last 7 as a dog of 3.5 to 10 points. And they're 5-0 their last 5 after a bye week. Everything fit there for Texas Tech. As far as TCU, TCU's 0-4 their last 4 conference games against the spread, 7-19 their last 26 as a favorite, and also 5-16 their last 21 home games. Now, when I set this line myself and had my projections, it was a little bit closer than that. So even though Texas Tech was on the road on a Thursday night, I felt like they could get the job done. Wish we had a little extra points there, but either way, that's where I've got it. Like I said, it is midway through the third. Right now, it looks like Texas Tech is hanging in there. It's a lot lower scoring game than I had actually, anybody expected. I actually had the under, and I almost went with that as a pick. Didn't pull the trigger, thinking a Thursday night game, this may be a shootout. Now looking at it, I wished I had, because before I started making this video, it was actually 7-3. So 10 total points scored so far. The next pick I'm going to go over is actually Virginia Tech and North Carolina. Now, last week, Virginia Tech had a very tough, hard-fought game with Notre Dame. They came up short in that game. And this week, I think that they focused back on the defense. Now, we've seen this right after they lost to Old Dominion. They come out the next week and really focused on those core, blocking, tackling, and playing good defense. Virginia Tech football. Having good special teams, and I think they're going to try to do that again. North Carolina had the week off last week, and the under in this game is 57.5. Now, earlier in the week, it was 58, so it has shaded down towards us a little bit. Some other reasoning that I went with under, North Carolina to the under is 9-1 their last 10 October games. So, this year, including the last 2 years, they're 9-1. The under also for North Carolina games is 9-2, their last 11 as a home underdog. They are 8-3, their last 11 as a dog of 3.5 to 10 points. And also the under is 11-5, their last 16 as a dog of any amount. Does not matter if they're a 30-point dog or a 3-point dog, 11-5. As far as Virginia Tech, the under is 4-1 their last 5 road games, and also 4-1 their last 5 after a straight-up loss. All those reasons, and the fact that I had this game projected around 50, I'm going under in the Virginia Tech North Carolina game, under 57.5. All right, for my third game, I'm actually staying in the ACC, and this time I'm going with Virginia. Now, this line is a lot lower than obviously I'd like it to be, but right now it's at 6.5. Virginia is 4-1 their last 5 home games. They're 12-5 their last 17 as a home dog, and they're 8-3 their last 11 versus a winning team. Miami, on the other hand, is 1-4 their last 5 conference games. They're 1-4 their last 5 road games, and they're 1-5 their last 6 versus a winning team. So you look at those two stats, both of the teams versus winning teams, and they're opposite sides, obviously. Miami had that game last week against Florida State where they had to come back and win it by a point in the fourth quarter. And I have this game a lot closer to a pick'em. So I think I'm believing in what Virginia's doing. They run the ball pretty decent. They play good defense. That's a Bronco Mendenhall type team there. He's building what he wants. And I just think that with a hangover from last week, Virginia plus 6.5 is a great play here. If you can get it over 7, and I really think you will be able to, it's moved up all week. It was 5 earlier in the week. It's all the way to 6.5. I think it's going to cross that 7 as we head towards Saturday. I think this is a good play, Virginia plus 6.5. Now for my game 4, I'm looking to go to the Big Ten. I'm looking at the Wisconsin-Michigan game. This game is on game day that morning. It's a primetime game. This is going to be a heck of a game, I think. I honestly think this is going to be one of the best of the weekend. Obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be a game day game. But you look at the total, it's 48.5. You start looking at trends. Michigan to the over is 5-1 their last 6 as a home favorite. They're 6-1 their last 7 home games in general. They're 7-0 their last 7 as a favorite of this margin, around 3.5 to 10 points. And also they're 7-3 their last 10 in conference games. You take Wisconsin, the over is 6-2 their last 8 road games. Now that stat alone was, kind of surprised me. That's very high for a Wisconsin team, I would think. And also the over in Wisconsin games is 11-5 their last 16 conference games at all, home or away. I have this game around 55, so a full touchdown above what it is set at. And for that reason, I'm going over 48.5 in the Wisconsin and Michigan game. My game 5, we're heading to the Pac-12, and actually my last 3 picks are going to stay in the Pac-12. And the first one is a big-time rivalry game in the Pac-12 North, Oregon and Washington. Now this game has got ugly before, but overall, just a couple years ago, Washington hung like 70 on Oregon. I think some of those players that are still there from that are going to, keep that bad taste in their mouth. Oregon is on the rise. Washington is a loaded team. Do not get me wrong. They have a ton of talent, but they're just not playing up to that talent. Now, they may come out this weekend and completely, play to the best of their ability, have their breakout game of the year. But last week I was against them with UCLA. I had UCLA plus 20. That was one at the very end of the video last week, if you remember watching it, I said that was a kind of a shot in the dark, throwing a dart against the wall, and it happened to work out. This week I'm going against them again. I'm taking Oregon plus 3. Now a few trends to back that up. Oregon is 4-1 their last 5 after a bye week. Now I know this is a new coaching staff, but some trends tend to stay the same even throughout. Something about the players that were left over, maybe they play better after having a little bit of rest. For whatever reason, that holds true a lot of times. Washington, on the other hand, I actually found 3 trends for them. 2-7 their last 9 overall. So obviously people are still betting based on the last 3 years, and they should. Washington's a good team, but that number is always shaded towards them. They're 1-5 their last 6 road games, and also they're 3-7 in their last 10 as a favorite of a pick'em to about 3 points. So really low, spread games. They're 3-7. The wrong team is favored here, in my opinion. I actually have Oregon -2 when I set my number, and for that reason, I'm taking those points. Give them to me all day long. Oregon plus 3. Now, like I said, staying in the Pac-12 with my 6th pick of the week, and that is another total, and it is in the UCLA and Cal game. Now, the total right now is 52.5, and if you look at some of the trends, Cal to the over is 4-1 their last 5 home games. Their over is 7-3 the last 10 as a favorite. UCLA, the over is 6-2 their last 8 road games, so obviously this is, further back than this year. And also the over is 4-1 their last 5 October games, so this year and last year. That is a lot of strong points to the over, but I don't go off just trends. I set my number first, and then I find trends that back them up. I have this game set at 62, so a full almost 10 points above, 9.5 to be exact. And for that reason, I'm taking over 52.5 for Cal and UCLA. All right, my final pick is on, like I said, staying in the Pac-12. This one is going against a trend that is very strong. Now, at home, Clay Helton is 18-0 as a USC head coach. 18-0, but that is straight up. We're going against the spread. So that trend, I don't know all the spreads that were involved there. I don't know if most of them were, 1 or 2 points. I don't know if they were 20 points. I hadn't looked that deep. But I do know that he had a very good record straight up at home as a favorite. Now, USC against the spread is 1-4 their last 5 conference games. They're also 0-4 their last 4 home games and 0-4 their last 4 against winning teams. You look at Colorado. Colorado has been playing above what everybody thought they would, especially me. I didn't think they would be this good this late in the season. That shows you what having a really good quarterback can do for you. The team is playing for him, wrapped around him, doing what they need to do, and they've been playing lights out. As far as trends go, they're 4-1 their last 5 overall against the spread. Also, they're 8-3 their last 11 October games. So going back a few years, looking at the middle of the season, that you've heard me talk about October games on several of these teams. What that is, it doesn't necessarily mean just October. That's saying from around this portion, midway through the season, this is how these teams have traditionally been playing and going against the spread. Some teams, for whatever reason, it may have to do with, their workout program during the summer. It may have to do with overconfidence year in, year out. I don't know. But some teams tend to, middle of the season, do bad. Some teams tend to pick up steam in the middle of the season. They come out slow. They end slow, but in the middle of the season, they're really good. Different reasons for different coaching staffs, different players, whatever. But you can't ignore some of those trends. For that reason, my last pick is Colorado +7. Now, you've heard my 7 games. One of them's going on as we speak. The other 6 are lined up for Saturday. Like I said, when Michael sends me his picks, I'll be sure to put those in the description below the video, so make sure you check those out. He'll be back next week. Life happens. He had to take care of some business, but just knowing he'll be back. And with that said, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Thegoal60. Make sure you check out the other videos we have. If you want to support the channel, in the description there's a link where you can buy merchandise from Fanatics. We are an affiliate of Fanatics, so check out that. Also, just give us a shout out, give us a thumbs up, do whatever, share the video. Either way, have a great end of the week, have a great weekend, good luck with whatever you do. Follow, fade, or pass, and I will see you soon. Thanks.
60% of the time, it works every time.